topics include anything you feel is newsworthy about racism, bigotry, and inequality. And as always, that pretty much includes everything. So we can always find a connection of some sort. It's kind of pathetic, but it's true. So I'm just getting situated here, getting this thing going. If you're coming on right now, please say hi to me because I won't know you're here otherwise, okay? And let me just get set up. Make sure I'm good. Don't be shy to say hi. And I must figure this out. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, I'm all set. There is so much going on, as you probably know, because every week there's so much going on. The insanity doesn't ever seem. Oh, Tamar, hello, welcome. Thanks for being here. The insanity never ends. When you have a lunatic in the White House. Oops, sorry, I said it. Okay. I'm so bad. Chan, yay, you made it. I'm so happy to see you, or to see you writing your face. Thanks for being here. This week's show is meant to, as always, give viewers the opportunity to speak their mind through my voice, of course, and to also serve as an educational tool for white people who want to learn about systemic racism and want to figure this all out. There's a lot to figure out. It's kind of a lifelong process, shall we say. So before we start, if there's anybody watching after the live show or during it that doesn't know me, I am Angry Soccer Mom. And to be honest, I really am more angry than guilty. Like, people like to say I'm guilty. I'm not guilty. I'm pissed. Because this isn't the way life's supposed to be. It's not rocket science. I mean, I hate to say that. It's so cliche, and everyone knows it. People are supposed to actually care about each other. And this has gone a little bit out of control, I'd say. To say the least. I host this live show every week at Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I would love it if you think you want to sign up. That would be awesome. Hi, Michael. If you want to sign up, that would be fantastic. Just ring the bell and subscribe. And if you support what I'm trying to do, which is educate white America. Oh, thanks, Shan. It's okay to be angry. I know. Well, it's kind of funny. Shan, thanks for saying that. I have, obviously people who are very, very critical of what I do and kind of nasty. They always say guilt. I'm like, they don't get it. I don't feel guilty. I'm pissed. I didn't do anything. It's like, I didn't create this. I didn't make this, but I see what's happening and I'm not just going to sit there and watch. And it's the way I say it every time is just because you didn't build the pool, would you watch somebody slowly drowning in it? Or just because you didn't shove them in, you just be like, well, I didn't do it. And that's the same thing with systemic racism. When Jane Elliott says, raise your hand if you'd like to be treated the way we treat white people in America, she'll have like an audience of 1,000 people and nobody's going to raise their hand. But yet we have this denial, like, what? Racism? We're in a post-racist era. What are you talking about? So, I mean, it's just ridiculous. And the guilt is it's completely not productive. So, anyway, let's get started. All my platforms center around educating white folks about our real racial history. And basically, Lakeisha, yay, thanks for being here. I didn't really get to put out my advertisements and I missed last week, so I was hoping people would show up because normally I, kind of tell people I'm here. So if you happen to have Facebook open or something like that, feel free to, have them join if you know anyone who might want to. So anyway, most people would, in general, it's not a best practice to focus on, white-centered when you're talking about systemic racism. But I'll tell you by starting out what I don't do. I don't do it to create white leaders to take over, and I don't do it to make white saviors. I do it to teach white folks how to be human, and I know that sounds harsh. Portias. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I know it sounds really harsh, and people would think, oh, that's so mean, but the truth of the matter is, I mean, it's our responsibility. I mean, obviously, we didn't do it, we live in a nation that boasts liberty and justice for all, yet we know there's no liberty, justice for all. It's a bunch of bullshit. And so, you know, kind of like, do we not care about our fellow humans? So I try to make it white-centered, not white-centered, but, you know, for white people, because what am I going to tell a black person? My God, I don't live it. I don't know. I mean, that'd be ludicrous. It'd be out of my lane times 10, and it'd be obnoxious. And so I'm trying to teach people, and I'm learning every day too. So I make mistakes, I screw up, and I use people who are indigenous, people of color, people who are black, people who are brown, people who are super knowledgeable to help me. I learn something every day. And what I don't know, I just keep trying. So that's, you know, that's all we can do and stuff. And there's no need for guilt, none of that. But people seem to get into that. So let me see. Where am I? My motto is, it's way past time for white America to start taking some racial responsibility. Martin, hello. Oh, you can't hear me very well? Anybody else? Let me know if you're having trouble hearing too. Anybody else? Sorry, Martin. I'm glad to see you though. So we have a ton to talk about. The truth of the matter is, most white Americans don't have a single close friend. Not a single close friend who's not white. So is that a yes, you can hear me, Lakeisha, or yes, it's probably yes, you can hear me. Okay. Well, say no if you can't. All right, thanks. And if they don't have a single close friend who's not white, thank you. Thank you. Thanks. Yay, I'm so happy you're here, Michael. I'm very happy you're here. Okay. So if you don't have a single friend who's close and not white, then of course you don't know shit about racism. I'm sorry. You can study it all you want. You're not living it. You don't get it. Or maybe you can hear it from Fox News. But the problem is, Fox News is, don't even get me started. Oh, Andrew, thank you so much. Oh my God, great thing to say to me. Thank you so much. Well, welcome, and I'm gonna get started. And if we have a little bit of smaller crowd today, that means you guys just have to talk more, okay? The simple act of making a friend from a different religion, skin tone, nationality, language, ideology is a huge step. Even someone who's a Trump supporter. Yes, I said that. Because you know what? It's not that you can talk them out of it, because at this point, I mean, let's be real. But maybe you can understand where they're coming from and try to find something, some common ground. I can't, because I'm a crazy person. I'm just saying you might be able to. No, I'm just kidding. I'm totally joking. You gotta go outside your comfort area. And if you've never met a person who's a Muslim American, go meet one. If you're a white person, I'm talking about white folks. Obviously, talk to them. It's just life-changing. So, okay, I'm done preaching. Before we begin tonight's topics, I wanted to share kind of a scary observation. I'm not sure what you guys will think, and I want to know. So make sure to tell me in the comments, and I will try to get to everyone. Since Trump's self-proclamation of, Mueller's report, vindicating him in his mind, obviously, he's wasted no time getting into the business of back to destroying lives and targeting people in historically marginalized groups. It's his thing. It's what he does. The first on his list was trying to overturn Obamacare without a replacement. And I personally found that pretty freaking obnoxious. Who takes away people's health care, for God's sakes, and doesn't replace it? I mean, it's insane. So that was like, he just got right back into it. The man has no shame. I'm beyond even commenting, but I was a little surprised that he went right to that. I can't normalize this. I don't know. Can you guys normalize this? Everything shocks me still. I don't get it. And you know who makes me the most upset? It's not the followers that blindly follow him like a cult. It's the Republican people who sit and do nothing. And I'm not all of them, but pretty much. This has never, ever been about politics for me. Never. It's about being human. stand there through all this and do nothing, and not just stand up to him. I mean, I know they want to keep their jobs, but you know what? There's something called personal integrity. And I guess I was under this impression that the people we elect for our highest offices would have the most integrity. Stop laughing right now. That's not funny. But apparently that's not really the case. So anyway, it's been a rude 50-year awakening. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, so I will keep going. Tonight's topics are, let me see here. While you were thinking about what you want to talk about, I am going to start going over some of the stuff that I have kind of prepped tonight, which is election 2020. And also, I wanted to take a look and kind of get your take on how we handle terrorism versus how New Zealand handles terrorism, because it's pretty pathetic. The comparison is kind of daunting. It is really turns sound up. Oh, hi, social justice. Me turns sound up. Let me see. I don't know if I can. Tell me if this helps. Does that help a little bit? Let me see. I have a question, but it seems you're about to touch on it. Okay, well, Portia, jump in anytime and ask me, and I'll either say, hang on 1 second, or just do your thing. Whatever you want to ask, go for it. The Republican Party's obsession with AOC. Okay. Joe Biden, getting a lot of coverage lately. The online radicalization of, yes, the audio I can hardly hear as well, so I'm just, let me stomp on the floor and get my engineer. Stomp. Thank you, Sam. Thank you. I'll make a quick call. How's that? And I'll see what's going on. Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm so sorry. And I will find out what can be done about this. It's weird. Sometimes, I'll just make a quick call. I'll try to talk louder, maybe. Okay. Okay, all right, what else do we have? Oh my God, I'm going to kill you, Michael. Okay. Can you come up and help me? Thanks. Okay, so let's keep going here. Online radicalization, lower safety standards. Neil, hello. Thanks for being here. Let me see. And is my mic, I don't use a microphone. Learning social justice. I don't use one. Facebook is blocking white supremacy hate pages, posts, and groups. Yeah, Lakeisha, thank you. I heard about that, and I have that kind of on the agenda tonight. But anything you want to say that's surrounding that, jump right in, because you're awesome. You have tons of good information. People are saying they can't hear me very well. Some people. So, what do you think?
You gotta see what microphone.
I already got it. Sorry, people, for the delay.
Check.
Apologies. Yeah. Good. Right? Oh, that one way.
That's the speakers. That's not the microphone.
Oops. Which one? Excuse me. You guys, nobody ever accused me of.
I don't know if we can determine it from in the stream.
Okay. Sorry for the delay. I'll just keep.
You may have done it with the headset. Talking to the headset, see if it's clear.
Oh, okay. You guys, just to really, there's always something. If I talk into the headset, is it clear? Anybody? Michael hears me. Neil, can you hear me? Wow, that is loud.
So that's it.
Okay, that was
So
it.
just leave the.
Okay, that's it. I'm so sorry, you guys. I don't.
Although this is set up with that, you may just need to leave that there.
Okay.
Can everybody hear you?
Portia. Okay, okay, good. Then everyone can hear me. I'm so sorry for the delay. Okay, give a yell if you can. Portia, I'd like to know your perspective on the mass shooting that's taken place in the abundance. So it is. Seems I would personally find knowledge, my age is sometimes a factor. Jump right in. You're talking about New Zealand? Okay, cool. Thank you. All right, I'm glad. Sorry. I don't know what I'm doing. I admit it. At some point, I will catch on. Anton, you always do this to me. Anton is very naughty, but understandably, I will show it, but I can't read it. But please read what he writes. Thanks for being here, Anton. I appreciate it. So, Portia, you must be talking about the New Zealand, what happened in New Zealand, I'm assuming. And we're going to talk about that a lot. And I want to know what you think and what you think matters. If you're young, whatever perspective you have, it matters because everybody comes from a different place. So if you are young, or maybe you don't, read the newspaper every day, okay, sorry, I aged myself there. You don't go online every day. Don't worry about it. Just jump in and be confident. Okay. I wanted to start by talking about some facts about this coming up election. So while you're thinking about what you want to talk about, and jump right in, and I'll go back if I have to, whatever it takes. Well, Trump was running, and I hate to even bring this up because it's kind of scary and pathetic. But when Trump was running, I got white people were coming up to me telling me, give him a chance. Oh, he's just acting like that. That's not really how he is. Or, Trump's really not racist. Oh, it was insane. And, denial runs deep in this country. It really does. And I tell the white folks that I help to educate, take whatever you think, how bad systemic racism is in America, multiply it by a gazillion. Okay, there's no such number. Okay, I know there's no such number. Multiply it by a gazillion, and you may be possibly getting close. It's the I would say the best kept secret. It's the best kept horrible secret. Everything's whitewashed. It's almost as separated as we were before '64, segregationally speaking, and we got him. I can't say it. So my answer then and now is that this has never been about politics. It's about being human, which a lot of white folks clearly can't seem to catch on to. And yes, that sounds harsh, like I said earlier, but no, we didn't start this. No, we didn't invent this, but we see it. And if we do nothing, I don't know what you guys do, but I try to hold, decent standards of integrity. And pretty much my take is this. If you stand there and watch something happening that's really, really bad to somebody in a historically marginalized group, or a vulnerable person or group, you might as well have done it yourself. And I know that sounds kind of a lot, but it's just, okay, Letitia, subhuman. I'm just being kind of real here. So I cannot say enough to white folks. It's not enough to be nice to everybody. This is a system. It's not really about individuals. It's a system that was not built for Black people. Okay? It wasn't. And, I'll agree to disagree, that whole cliche thing, but I draw the line when it comes to Americans having the audacity to run on a campaign or support a campaign that takes away human rights from my own citizens. That's disgusting. And with Trump, as you guys, most of you know, he had him at racist. It didn't matter what he did. He had him at racist. The minute he found out that he was the most racist person on the planet, that's who they were waiting for. So I'm going to shut up for a second, if you can believe it. And I am going to take some Portia. Okay. And I will definitely tell my perspective on the mass shooting and also get everything. Let me see here. I was born in '89, but I am not just talking of New Zealand. Here in my hometown, oh, wow. Okay, so you have a lot to tell us about. Yeah. Okay, I did not realize that. Wow. So definitely we want your input. That's very key. Thank you. Jump in anytime. Tell us, and I will tell everybody, and definitely jump in. Thank you. Robert, when someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. My Angela, I know. It's true. It's true. This is the craziest thing. And I'm not trying to be like, oh, I knew. This wasn't exactly like, I didn't need a really high IQ for this. He basically said what he's doing. He's running on a campaign to further harm pretty much every person in historically marginalized groups. I believed him. And that's pretty much what he's doing. It kills me we can't get him out. Oh, stop that naughty little, I can't even read your name. Okay. Let me see. Thank you, Sam. Martin. Oh, Lakeisha, I'm sorry. We are the Aboriginals of the planet. Aborigines are not of our oppressor. Right. And that's something that actually I would love if Lakeisha came on sometime and just, like co-hosted this and actually talked a lot about that. No pressure, but thanks, Lakeisha. People need to know we're still learning real history because it's been so whitewashed. And so, you kind of get it. You think, well, we did evil, rotten, barbaric, disgusting things. We don't want to talk about it. We don't want to write about it. We don't want to show off about it. But the truth needs to be known. This is one ugly secret that needs to be spoken about. And white folks really have a rough time doing so. And actually, I don't really get why. They didn't do it. But anyway, I won't get into that. Oh, greetings, Stevie. Yay. Thank you so much for being here. I'm really psyched you're here. Martin, I guess I want to comment that I'm 59 and born in 1959 and white. And my perspective on Trump is that he's stone cold racist. I only had to hear one speech, his opening speech at Trump Tower. Amen. And I'm not even religious. Yep. Martin, I heard my epiphany was when I saw he was running and everyone was saying it was a joke. I was like, well, he is a narcissist. So people like that kind of he has money. Maybe he wants power now. I looked him up and I knew he had that show and I'd never seen it. And I saw something called the Central Park Five. And I've never been more disgusted in my life. What he did to those, well, they're now men, they were boys, is unconscionable. And he did it because he could. Yeah, Martin, understatement of the century. But yeah, no. And people who are questioning it and stuff like that are like, is he racist? It's the old, kind of like, this is what he does. This is what he does, and he confuses people with gaslighting and dog whistles, and he uses it all. He's a professional con man. So I'll stop bagging on him now. Oops, no, I won't. And that's not really what this show's supposed to be about, but what are you going to do? No, I'm just kidding. But unfortunately, everything he's doing does hit our topics. So let me see. Martin, thank you so much for Neil. Let me just get this a little bit bigger. Now I can see it. The press is building Pete. Oh, is that okay? Pete, but God, like they did Obama because he's smart and young, and he is he's one of the millennials. Neil, is that the guy in your district? Is that the same guy in your district? You just learn social justice. Stevie Wonder is colorblind. Tell me more about what you mean by that. Okay? Tell me more social justice. I'm ready for you, social justice. I'm just kidding. It's a joke. You always add great questions and comments. And okay, Michael, Neil, Pete, I can't even pronounce it. I'm so bad. I can't keep track of all the people who are running. I'm the worst. But to teach me someone is pretty awesome, quite impressive. Cool. Neil, tell me, is that the that's the guy. Yeah, that's Neil. He's your mayor, right, Neil? Isn't he? Yeah. God, Neil, you are so sweet to me. That would be amazing. That would be just amazing. You're really sweet. But yeah, Neil's really blown away by him. We were talking about it today. He's just, actually, there's some information in my box that I'm supposed to be looking at about him. Okay, gotcha. Oh my God, Michael, you're the best. Buddha judge. Buddha judge? Buddha judge? I'm the worst. I'm a phonics specialist. Oops. But let me see here. Yeah, I'm excited about him. If we could ever get him, that would be amazing. Also, Marianne Williamson, I'm interested. I don't think she has this great chance, but yeah, Stevie, yeah, whites in London have much more respect for black people than whites in the U.S. I've heard that from multiple friends who live in the UK. I mean, multiple friends. I've heard it's, in fact, when some people from the, not to jump, skip around, but when some people from the when people from the what was I going to say? Yeah, when people in my groups and in my online communities, and they come in, they think everything's illegal, and they're like, they can't get away with that. It's like, oh, actually, it's not illegal. Like and also Australia, obviously, they have the stricter hate speech laws and whatnot, and they're kind of shocked that actually they can. So it's interesting. I'll jump back up. Yeah, I definitely I want to know more about the Williamson woman. I certainly don't think she has any chance of anything, but it was kind of interesting just to put some of the stuff out on the table, at least for people to go, let's be more humane. But honestly, I really don't know much about her. But thank you, Michael, for trying to help me. Andrew, I honestly don't think it matters if Trump holds racist views. His actions are harmful to people of color and LGBTQ people. We can judge him by his actions. Yeah, and again, Andrew, I completely agree with that. You can say anything you want. I watch your actions, but unfortunately, his words, he lies, and unfortunately, his actions and words have been fairly consistent in my mind. Watching what he does, he says he's going to do something rotten, and he does it. So I'm kind of speaking to, maybe I'm being a little too literal. What he does is racist. And honestly, we talk about the difference between discrimination and racism. Discrimination, he actually discriminates. So he does do the action that's harmful. But yeah, he's, and people who can't see it, it's kind of scary. And Michael says, that's it. Oh, yay! Thank you. That's it. Okay. Thank you. Martin, I agree, Andrew. And we should. Thanks, Martin. Stevie, yeah, I read what Stevie had said. Stevie, some of the differences are really, it is kind of an adjustment. Like, how people have, people end up having moderators and, stuff like that in their groups. Like, one of my groups got so big that I was like, I got to get, that so many people from the UK wanted to do it. But when I interviewed them and talked to them, they backed out. Because right now, and this is just my obvious opinion, but right now, if you live here, it's really, really hard to read about it. Even if you're a real good scholar, it's hard to read about America and kind of get it. You really do kind of have to live here. Otherwise, moderators end up, and not all moderators, but they end up kind of not really getting the nuances of our very, very racist culture in general. But, oh my gosh. Okay, Michael. Marianne Williamson is a scam artist. Oh, wow. Interesting. I know her personally from years ago. Just saying, no, I want to know. Hey, I'm here to read people's opinions and what they have to say. And it's kind of funny. Well, it's not really funny. I never followed politics till about 5 years ago. Not one. I didn't even know who the president was. No, I'm just kidding. But I mean, I really didn't, because I am for good or for bad, I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm a humanist. And I'll always go with the most humane, human-based, non-greedy, whatever. It's what I do. Because I do that because it guarantees me one thing. There's going to be thousands of things they make decisions on, these people. And thousands of ways they sway, they have their power. I don't know what they're going to be. Sure, we know about maybe the 5 big ones, death penalty, abortion, whatever. But I don't know what they're going to do. If they're a humane, decent person, if they put people above greed, I don't know, it might seem like a really simple thing, but that's how I choose. And, but wow, I want to hear more about Marianne Williamson. Oh my gosh, I did not realize. And Michael, I have to say, thank you so much for being on here. Michael is an incredibly intelligent man. I mean, he is, ask him questions. He is, sorry to put you on the spot, but he and Neil are just, they know stuff. So just please, be friendly with them. And they have strong opinions, and it's what they're supposed to have. I want to hear it all. And Lakeisha, I'm independent too. Yeah. I don't buy into all this parties. So I'm a real newbie to politics, but social issues since I was 12 years old. Pat, hello. Thank you for being here. Hey, let me just see. I'm skipping people. Let me see. There's no such thing as hate speech. It's an opinion. Yeah. But in Australia and the UK, they're actually, I think that's what they call it. I don't know if they call it hate speech, but they have categories of things you are not allowed to talk about, in the sense that it's considered some sort of crime of sorts. And in the US, we really don't have that kind of thing. That's what I was referring to. Yeah, in the US, all speech is protected, I'm assuming. Maybe it is there too, but I just get with my friends who live there. And they kind of don't quite get why we're allowed to say things. So maybe elaborate on what you're trying to say. And maybe I'm just missing something. Andrew, you're totally right. Yay, I want to be right. Thanks. Thank you. I know what you're talking about. Sam, have you been to Europe? Are you interested in any particular European country? Yes. And I mean, no, and yes, I am. I would love to travel to every single one of them. I'm absolutely, I don't really want to go to the ones that hate Americans, but I would take a chance. But I know some of them, but right now it's probably not like, I have a Chinese company I work with. And so I work with people from China all the time. And it's hilarious because they'll ask me where I'm from. And I tell them Canada, of course. And they're like, oh, and I'm like, okay, I have to admit it and stuff because I'm kind of embarrassed. But I say I'm from Canada because I'm going to be blunt. I'm embarrassed about the president and the clan that we have in our office. And I'm sorry, it is a clan. Jamie, hello. I'm happy you're here. I hope you're here still. I think I saw your name a while ago. Thanks for being here. Jump in and add. Jamie knows tons and tons and stuff, tons of things too. Everybody knows stuff. So, Andrew, humanism is great. Yay. Michael. Oh, that's who wrote that? The Course in Miracles. I did not know. Michael, The Course in Miracles, New York City's 80s. She had to leave to go to California to start all over. Interesting. Because I've seen her interviewed on a couple of popular YouTube channels. These black guys were grilling her over raking her with fires, and she's okay. She was okay. She's the first person who came out with reparations as her number one thing. And although her plan wasn't Michael, I'm in. Not that I'm being invited, but it was interesting. I saw 2 interviews, and I like things to get out on the table. I don't know her in depth. I just saw 2 interviews. But let me see. I will find my spot. Busy at the moment. Oh, take this off. Okay. No. Definitely. I'm going to make you come on here, Michael. I will. Let me see. Oh, Sam, you need to visit Scandinavia. Actually, my sister lived there for 3.5 years. And I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but for about a year, one of my kids went out with this Scandinavian exchange student. And yes, she was gorgeous, of course, just saying. But I don't think it was just this. But anyway, yeah, and she taught us a lot about the culture. It was really a great experience because we had her over a lot. But yeah, I'm kind of curious why you're asking. I think I have an idea, but I don't, it's a lot of people, I'll just be blunt, a lot of people have said that it's over here. And you know what? There's a bunch of very, very wealthy people who aren't going to allow racism in the systemic sense to stop. I think we all kind of know that. And that's why I'm really into bottom up grassroots. It's not coming from the top. Education. I've seen people change. I've seen miracles. It's over time. It's slow. It's a lot of work. I've seen people change, and I'll tell you stories if you ever want to hear them. Okay, and I mean, like really, pretty much overtly racist people who, begrudgingly spoke to me, and it's kind of funny because they come on, and they pretty much. I'm just going to move this for a second. Zip, 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 zip. They, whoa, they pretty much come on going, I don't see color. That's ridiculous. All lives matter. And by the time they get through my my brainwashing program, by the time they get through learning historical truths that have been just left out, and like sundown towns, redlining, I could go on. Black codes, they don't teach this stuff. It's a dirty secret. They actually end up leaving usually in a year or two because they cannot stand these newbies coming in who are like, I don't see color. I don't see, and they're like, I can't take it. And I kind of laugh because that's what they were doing, when they came. So it's amazing. I've seen it happen. Let's see, Martin, I've been all over the world, spent 3 years in Europe, 3 years in Asia. America, with all of its ills, is still the most culturally diverse country on the planet. And Martin, you are very, very knowledgeable about that because I know your family and the diversity is fantastic. Personally, I'd like to see a gap in the cognitive dissonance that we have. We live in a country where we pledge allegiance to the flag and liberty and justice for all, and it's a bunch of bullshit. I mean, there isn't liberty and justice for all, not really. And I just think that people accept that, and it's killing people. I mean, it's obnoxious. It's not even a close call. It's obnoxious. I better keep up here. Oh, Mr. SF Black, thank you for being here. Happy to see you, or talk to you, or see your name. Oh my gosh. Lots of people. I better stop yapping and start reading. A travel partner. Yes, please. Sam. Nobody hates Americans in Europe. Interesting. Really interesting. It's kind of funny. My only experience is with, like sampling of one, and the Chinese people I work with, I get tons and tons of comments, and my only experience with them is they really have this, and tell me what you guys think, because I don't, I have very little experience outside of America. They seem to have a real understanding for the separation of government and the people. Whereas Americans, if the government's doing something in another, we hate the people. And my Chinese people that I work with have a very strong understanding that the people may not really be running the country. And I think it's something that, we need to kind of grasp, and maybe someday we will run the country. But when we have a majority of people, including all Republicans, saying we want common sense gun laws, and they've been saying it for years and years, common sense, and we don't have it, it's not run by the people. It's run by big business. So, okay. Sorry, I'm like on this. I better catch up. But Sam, that's interesting. I did have I've had people say to my children that their friends can't visit America. And I mean, if you think about it, what they're probably getting is that we should, they see the statistics and they said it's too dangerous because people shoot each other. Again, I have no experience, so you guys have to tell me. Trudeau is in the Klan. Trudeau is in the Klan? Is that a question, Learning Social Justice? You asking me? Oh, she didn't write it, Michael. She taught it. Oh, okay. Because I've heard of that. I'm old. I've heard of that one. And I was like, I can kind of remember it a little bit. Martin, Trump's approval rating in Europe is under 20 points. Some places only 10%. Martin, that makes me so happy to hear. Vernon, Hello. Hello, hello. She has the best reparation plan of all the Democrats. Does she? I strongly um, advise white people to learn what reparations are. And I'm not trying to be belittling, but most white folks don't know what the word means. Okay? And they need to understand because it's a really important thing. And anyway, I'll get kind of into that in a second, but let me read more. I'm really happy you're here, Vernon. I hope you can stay. Lakeisha, they're living a lie and the falsehood in America and riding our coattails to stay above white privilege. Yeah, it's a very, very ugly truth. It's a very ugly truth. And as one person, I have talked to thousands of people who are mostly black, brown, indigenous, a mixture, and honestly, every single one tells me a similar story. Every one of them. I have yet to have someone say the things that I'm learning and the information I'm getting from people to say, oh, it's a conspiracy. They all got together. No. I can see it, and it really is harmful. I have friends who won't leave the house. Think I'm joking? I'm not. They are afraid to leave their house. And they're definitely afraid to go in white areas. In the LGBTQ community, oh my God, don't even get me started on that. That's out of control. How he, anyway, I'm off on a tangent. I will stop. Martin, thank you for telling me about that. And Vernon, somebody just talked to me about this set reparations program. And to be honest, I don't know what it is. I'm going to look into it. And they said there already is one all set, and it's done by people, by the relatives of people. I know someone out there's going to know. Relatives of people who were enslaved, and that it's all set, and that I shouldn't be talking about anything about reparations. And I said, or, not exactly that, but like that we don't need to invent a new system. It's already been invented. So I was a little confused. He was super nice, and I'm going to read his stuff and see what he's talking about, because that is an area I know nothing about. Yeah, when she said reparations, I was just shocked that she said, like, that was her number one thing, and she came out right out with it. If nothing else, it'll get some of the candidates to put it on the table, and people will learn what the word means. So I'm just saying. But yeah, Michael, I want to hear everything about, if you know her, oh my God, give us a scoop. Okay? Let me see. Oh my God. Sam, I thought this. Sam says, but don't go to the Netherlands. They have windmills there, and they will give you cancer. I know. People. Oh my God. I was so sad. I was like, no, please. Say he did not say that, please. It's like, it's a joke. Sorry. It's just terrible. Good one, Sam. Portia. Yeah, it honestly sucks because a lot of things haven't hit the media. For example, they had snowplows at the protest that was organized by kids. A bit of a drag performer, nerd, stay at home, mom of 4. Oh, wow. Tell me about the snowplows. What did they do? Interesting. Yeah, just, it's so crazy because I know when I watch the news and when I read things, the lack of details is really tough. Because I'll see a story, and I mean, it's not just the lack of details, to be honest. It's more like some things you do need the details for. It does matter. And it's so vague that it gets people up in arms. And it's like, then when you read the real story, it's like, are you kidding me? Like anything else. People who aren't doing their own research, they're getting lies. And I mean, they're getting lies, and they're believing them, and they're not. I mean, I had Trump supporters tell me, oh, just watch Fox News. You'll get everything. Don't watch anything else. I'm like, oh my God, God help me, please. I'm like, seriously? It's one of my videos I did. And I snuck up and tried to I was trying to talk about racism, but we didn't quite get there because I chose life. I decided to leave because they were getting really mad. So yeah, that was my exciting moment of terror, but it was exciting. I'm naughty. I don't know what to say. Let me see. Oh, Vernon, not a complete plan, but better than others. Yeah, I mean, I totally know what you're saying, Vernon, because when she came out like that, so strong, I was like, wow. But truth be told, I really know nothing about her. But let me see here. Hello, Mr. FS Black. Oh my gosh, I'm having trouble. Let me just, whenever I say, okay, wait a second. I have skipped people. I have skipped people. I apologize. Let me see. Oh, Anton, would you ever do a live stream chat with a panel? I would love to be on the panel. Yes. Oh, yes. Yes, 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 yes. 100% yes. I would love that. Thank you. And you just volunteered. I'm putting your name down as number one. I would love that. In fact, next week I'm going to have Don on, who is very, very well read, and he's a great guy. He might come tonight. I'm not sure. Sometimes he comes a little bit later. And then the next week I'm going to have a new person that I just met on, who is a young man out of New York City, who is absolutely okay. He's a really good speaker, so I'm like bowing down because that's not my forte. As many of you might know, I tend to blab, but he's going to come on too and talk about some stuff that matters to him. And I'm very excited about that. And I'm just reading some stuff. But Anton, I hope you're serious, because I'm absolutely serious. I would love it. Portia, 2 girls, 2 boys. That's homeschool this year, except the youngest. He's only 1. In hopes to keep my children from falling into the category of becoming a statistic. It's sad because as a POC, yeah, mom, there is, and I'll catch up to where you were before. I hate that they stop. Just the same ideals have jumped out of the woodwork even further. I hope I'm on the right one. I skipped one, sorry. In the world, to be aware of police but not afraid. He who must not be named, aka, I know, I used to call him 40. For the first year, I called him 45, and then I'm just like, honestly, don't get me started. I'll start talking about myself. Oops. Names. Yeah, it seemed like so many with the same ideals had jumped out of the woodwork even further than they had peaked before. Absolutely. Well, he is what I continuously call the de facto modern leader of the KKK. People in America and people in the world have been looking for a leader. And he can say whatever he wants. It's his actions. He is what people are watching. And it's disgusting. And I absolutely get, Push, I get what you're saying. It's truly terrifying. And I feel what you're saying. It's really scary. One of my kids, I am afraid to allow her to go without me there, because when I'm with her, she's got my white privilege, and the minute she doesn't, it's really, really terrifying to me. So I can feel that, as I can definitely relate in that regard. I'm scared, and I'm scared for everybody, because this is out of control. But anyway, I'm blabbing again. Let me see here. Let me see. Windmills are dangerous. Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, so I have a question, and this is for everybody. Why is he even talking about cancer? He doesn't believe in science. So maybe it's just a little bit confusing. Since he doesn't believe in science, he thinks it just all goes along. It's insane. But crazy. Jamie, I have friends who are truck drivers who are worried if Trump closes the border because of the delivery car parts to Michigan plants, and if he closes it, will hurt the economy and treat Puerto Rico badly. Absolutely. Great point, Jamie. I don't know if you're still watching, but yeah. I mean, Trump doesn't seem, this is an understatement, he doesn't really seem to relate to that people have lives and stuff, and things matter to them, and we'll take away your health care, who gives a shit, It's like, then they die. It's like, he just really hasn't connected the whole quality of life / possible death thing. And I'm not kidding. he clearly doesn't, or he doesn't care or whatever. But yeah, my first thought when he got elected was get a passport, because I was watching, and people say, "Oh, Kim, you're ridiculous. You're being so exaggerating. You're exaggerating." But I followed Martin Niemöller with his work through the, that I've read a little bit about him and his work, and he's right. First they came for the trade unionists, and he wasn't one, so he didn't care. I mean, I don't know if you're familiar with his prose that he would read to his. He was a professor, and he would read those, and it was about his guilt about not doing enough as an academic and as an intellectual in Nazi Germany. He let it happen. Obviously not him, but he said the academics, and he was a pastor, watched. And I'm telling you, there's parallels. There's parallels. Robert Wright will go over. He's a government guy, and he's a professor at Berkeley, and he now does some videos, and he is so spot on. He worked for, I can't remember what administration he worked for, but he definitely was in government, and he's seeing parallels too. Let me see. Yeah, Jamie, my biggest fear is that he'll close the border for our safety. I have a grandfather who got out of Germany when he was 6. I mean, before they closed the border. So it's pretty terrifying. Portia. Only so much we can do to protect our own. I've taught my children how to deal with public spaces so they can avoid fitting a description. I'm working on trying to teach them how to carry themselves. Portia, I bow down to you. That is awesome. That is awesome, and it's pathetic that we have to do that. Pathetic. But I, as a parent, have taught every person who will listen to me, and my children are Caucasian, I guess the word is, and my biggest goal as a parent was to basically instill in my children a sense of citizenship. Of course I want them to get great grades. Of course I want them to do this, but my kids know you do not stand there and watch somebody being abused and do nothing. Or you might as well have done it yourself. And that might sound like a really, really harsh standard, but it's something to live up to. And I expect my kids to step up to the plate and be an example. So I'm that mean mom. But, I'm not that militant in every area, but I understand. I'm not raising kids that look at a person who doesn't have a home, what we call a homeless person, and think anything other than they're a person who's gone through something really, really badly. What can I do to help? That matters. And so raising our kids, it does matter. But again, it's grassroots, bottom up. It's a slow process. But it's what you got to do. But I hate that kids have to have the talk. I hate it. And we should talk. Okay. Little kids of color and black kids, they shouldn't have their innocence destroyed because of our fucked up society. Sorry. Oops. Sorry. It's just sick. They should be allowed to be kids. So let me see. Neil, I would like for someone to explain what the word color means to them and explain the word color. Okay, someone should do that. Explain color. Michael, now sending power. Yay. Anastasia. Oh, hello. I gotta stop talking and start reading. I hope you're there still. Yay. Portia. In the world, and we are aware of police. Okay, but not afraid. Yeah, okay, I read that part. Good. Martin. Kim, you're right. Liberty and justice is still not for all here in the United States, unfortunately. And Martin, I definitely liked what you were saying about the diversity, and I get that. But it is kind of a farce where I know you get it. You're amazing, and your writing is fantastic. Portia, the same ideals have jumped out of the woodwork even further than they had peaked. Okay, right. And you know what? Part of that, and I just want to talk to that for a minute. Part of it is they were looking for a leader, and part of it is he's emboldened people. He's really, and I'm not telling anyone anything they don't know. He's emboldened people, and it's terrifying. first day I went out after he won, I have a pride flag that I keep in the front of my car. It's like a little teeny little pride flag, and no one's ever said boo. I started getting harassed by it, and it was unstinking believable. I'm like, am I okay? It's like my first day out in the Trump era, and these two big old guys were like pointing and laughing and pointing and laughing, and they started coming towards my car. So all I did was I whipped out my camera and started videoing them, and they left. But it was, damn, they've been waiting for a leader. They got it. Let me see. Oh, Portia, with the modern day lynchings that have been taking place, I'm terrified for my boys. So, no, it's okay, Portia. I want to hear what you have to say. Keep writing. I love you. I'm really happy you're here. It's terrifying. It is truly terrifying. And police generally, I mean, statistics are out. They see children who are black as years older than I've seen. Did you see in the news this week? More cuffing of little children. Who cuffs a little child, for God's sakes? I wanted to cover all that, but there was just too much to do. But yeah, Portia, it's real. It's scary. I can't imagine how you feel. I cannot imagine. And that's one of the reasons I push education, education, education. Is because it's the one way, other than traveling the world, which I can't really afford to help everyone travel the world. I can't even travel the world, but it's the one way that is proven. You know, the two ways are traveling the world and actually seeing that, yes, other people in other countries are human. What do you know? I mean, it works. You actually realize, yes, they actually love their children too. Yes, they have families. They want to have fun. They have feelings. And Anastasia, did I say hi to you? I think I might have skipped you. I'm losing it tonight. But yeah, so that's why I'm always on to the education, because it's slow, but it does work. And we're not getting, there's no comprehensive anti-racism program going into our public schools anytime soon. Very funny, right? So let me see. Pika X. Hello, thank you for being here. I hope I said that right. That's so cute. It's like Pikachu. Oh, and you have is that a Pikachu? No, I can't tell. I'm completely blind. Pikachu. Anastasia, isn't it sad that we don't run our country? Yeah, and you know what's even more sad is we pretend we do, or at least that's what we're taught in school. And so it's really sad, really, really sad. Very sad. Mr. FS Black, I keep hearing something hitting your microphone. You might want to fix that. Oh, is it this? Is it that? Okay, I'll try to not slam. I'm getting very angry here. I'm just kidding. But okay, I'm not sure if anyone else is hearing that. Let me know. I get some serious tech issues here tonight. Sorry about that. I'm trying to keep you awake. Robert, hello. You're the voice of equality, and it's wonderful to see and hear it. Oh, thank you. To all the white people who uses the black friend mantra. Oh, I have a black friend. They don't get it. It's the best place for racists to hide. Oh, I have a black friend me. In fact, okay, I'm not trying to be goofy, but in one of my videos, I actually said, but my sister's brother's uncle's friend's nephew knows someone who's black, so I'm cool. It's like, I actually was that obnoxious. I've heard that so many times. But also you hear, I have a black spouse. I have a black kid. And that's even equally as scary because you're raising a child of color and my God, I won't even go there because it's a little too personal, but yeah, they use racism's over. We're in a post-racial era. They use. I have a black friend. I have heard there's about 30 of them, and those are what I tell the white folks that I work with. Learn those. If you do nothing else, learn the cliche, the classic cliche denials of racism. Classic cliche denials of racism. Learn those. and learn how to debunk them, understand them, and know the history, you're a gazillion times better than most anyone else, any other white folk, anyone out there, because it's really bad. The level of understanding is extremely low. I've had I said the word black and somebody scolded me and shushed me. Don't say that. I'm like, black? The person knows they're black. Why can't I say it? Like, it was weird. I've had people say, kidnapped? Kidnapped from what? I'm like, wow. They didn't know that, people were dragged over, for chattel slavery. I'll just go on and on. But yeah. Let me see. Thank you, Robert. That's a great point. Mark, we have a rich white man in suit problem in this country. We need to get these fellows right. White. It's a tongue twister. Rich white man in suit problem. A lot of the things I say on my vids are like, we don't have a black problem in America. We have a white problem. And it's really, really pathetic. Everything's a spin now. We need to get these fellows out of leadership positions and inject women, people of color, etc. Nothing will change until that happens. 100% agree. We need people in our government who represent the people. And I don't believe that no white person is able to do that, but they're going to have to be someone awfully special and awfully educated and awfully getting it, because white folks want to lead. They want to tell how reparations should be. They want to, and it's not okay. It is not our place as a white anything. We don't get to be the person who the oppressor doesn't get to tell the oppressed how to help themselves. We don't know best. And that's one of the biggest things I end up talking to white people about is they want to, and they might even have good intentions. They might, but the problem is they don't understand the history, that it's not our place to be the leaders. That, in fact, on that note, I will be quiet. The best advice I can give for white folks is learn as much as you can and use your white privilege to educate other white people, because it is not the responsibility of people who have been historically harmed to teach you. And anyone who's on here who is a black person or a person of color, I am thrilled, because I'm learning from you. People are learning from you, but it is not your responsibility. There are people, some of my friends would never come on this show, never, because they get it all day long. They do not want to deal with this here, and I get it. It's not for everybody, but a lot of times white folks will watch afterwards, and that's great. And it's a hard pill to swallow. It really is. If you've been lied to your whole life, and you've been, kind of put into this, you've bought into the propaganda. So it's hard to know. Yeah, mom and dad lied to you, basically, and so did your school, and so did your country. So it's kind of sad. But Martin, yeah, we have a suits problem, men in suits problem. Good one. Robert, colored is a byword, something black people are called beside their true nationality. The logic behind this is that it's inappropriate to call black people colored. Explain further, because I've talked to people. Obviously, that's an antiquated term, which, by the way, I heard someone use and I was blown away. It is also, some people have a big problem with people of color. Yet, what I try to do personally is I try to use best practices of the time out of respect, because I want to be respectful. I'm a white person trying to teach this stuff. I don't know better. And there will always be someone who I've had one black guy. He's like, you cause racism because you talk about it. And I'm like, okay. I mean, I've gotten my neighbor, just don't talk about it and it'll go away. away. Like, and let me see, we've been doing that for how many centuries? We've been doing that, so it's not working. But I mean, there's black people and people of color and indigenous people and brown people are not a monolith. I know that. And I know everyone else listening probably does too. I need to put a sock in it. Let me see here. We need, but Robert, explain more what you meant. I need to be educated. When you say a byword, teach me. Thank you, Vernon. We need a complete overhaul in the way people think. When I lived in Virginia, I was shocked by schools named after Confederates and statues. It's all a problem. Oh. Vernon, 100% yes. I saw a show on TV once or on a video, and I am adamantly opposed, vehemently, I don't even know the words, opposed to the death penalty. Like, I won't get into it, but they were taking someone to his death. He was a black person. And lo and behold, they walked under a community building where he would be murdered by the state, and there's a Confederate flag on top. And I thought, wow, how disgustingly fitting. It just all kind of makes sense. And you know what? A lot of people say, oh, it's a conspiracy, and it's not true, and black people and brown people and they get everything. It's, and if that's where they're at and that's how they can live, they can live a lie, then they're way past I can't help them. But it was so sad. It was like, wow. Walking to your death as a black man in the South under a Confederate flag. It was terrifying. But yeah, Anastasia, proximity doesn't preclude a person from being racist. Yeah, and I know a couple people who have adopted children of brown children, and and they don't get it. They just don't get it, and they don't want to get it. It's really sad. I try not to judge parenting, but okay, who are we kidding? I do. It's just sad. It makes me sad. Calvin, do you drive a Cadillac Escalade like all soccer moms? No, my kids don't play soccer. They've never played soccer once in their life. Yeah, no. That's funny. No, but that's kind of funny. No, actually, one of my friends, Michael, picked that because when he met me, he thought I was this soccer mom, and I didn't know the term. And he goes, "You just look like a soccer mom," and I was laughing my head off because I didn't know what it was. Now I know it is kind of like a bad thing, but I don't think I'm a typical soccer mom. My kids don't even play soccer, but kind of stuck with it. But that's a funny question. Michael, I was shocked by signs for the shrine of Robert E. Lee in Virginia. A shrine is a religious site. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. And they just don't get it. They just, and this is obviously just my opinion, but I kind of think it's weird to, like, would German people put up statues of Hitler and bow down to it? I mean, I don't know. I think Americans in general, and since I don't go to other countries, I really don't know. But what I've seen of our culture, we have some serious denial going on. It's kind of like the understatement of the century. We live a lie. We live a lie. I mean, I don't know. Listen to me blab. But wow, that's interesting. Where am I? Yeah, that's Neil. Martin, you are right. However, people are brainwashed that they will lose everything, so they pay for something that still costs them a fortune, even if they have a serious illness. It's a no-win. Did I miss I might have missed a comment on health reform, I'm guessing. Is that what you're talking about, Neil? My gosh, I'm out of the loop in my own joke. Yeah. Anton, welcome to the Nazi state of America. This government will stoop to any level. They don't care. Black, white man, women, child, yeah. Anton, that reminds me of something. You are special, Michael. You are very special. I'm going to have everyone here friend you on Facebook. You are very special. That reminds me of They will stoop to any level. Part of the thing with white folks, and this is I talk a lot about inequality and in our judicial system and all that. But you see, it happens to white folks too. So it is in the best interest, percentage-wise, it obviously happens way, way, way more, percentage-wise, based on the population. But white folks are, if a police can get away with harming a black person or a brown person, you think they're not going to hurt you because you're white? Well, sure. A lot of times they get they get kind of the white treatment, but sometimes they don't. People don't get it. It's basically if somebody is hurting someone else, your group's next. Don't be a moron. Your group's next. And that people don't get that is really scary, because that's Martin Niemöller that's his thing. First they came for the trade unionists. I wasn't one, so I didn't care. Next they came for the next group of people. I wasn't one. I didn't care. And finally they came for me, and there was no one else to say. I don't know. I'm ranting again. Sorry. Uh-oh. Not good ranting. Yeah. Let me see. Martin, Neil Douglas, this is why we need socialized medicine. Okay, I get what you're saying. Birth to death. We need to take away the fear of sickness. Yeah. Even though I'm out of the loop on that, I can definitely, I can read. So, Anastasia, baby, remember, whiteness is color-free because it's a mindset. Some of the worst I've met with the colonizer mindset have been people of color. Yeah. And you know what? I do get that. And Anastasia, you're awesome. I don't speak black people or people of color. That's not my place. That's way out of my lane, but you can. So yeah. No, and when I do meet somebody like that, it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. The system's got to them. It's made them believe that they aren't worthy. It's really sad. It kills me. Just kills me. One of my friends, and I always bring this up, but it's just so, I love this guy. When I met him, he spent, and it is not my place, but we became really good friends. And I finally just said something to him. I said, you seem like, can I just say, you spend a lot of your day trying to make white people feel comfortable. And he goes, my God, I do. And I'm like, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, but as a white person and person who's like learning and studying, and you don't have to do that. They should be making you feel comfortable. And he said it like changed his life. And I was like, oh my God. So he just never really, he kind of had an epiphany. And anyway, it kills me when people are, a black person buys into this. Anyway, again, I never be quiet. Anastasia, let me see. Oops, Vernon. I hate the term POC. It tries to lump everyone in and not discuss the specific claims made by ADOS, American Descent. That is the name, Vernon. That was it. That's the organization, ADOS, that I was talking about earlier, that a man was trying to introduce me to, and I didn't get time to read the literature. What he was saying is that, I believe this is what he was saying, is that it's basically American descendants of formerly enslaved people, and that they have what they want set out. It's already set. So I'm definitely gonna look into that. But yeah, a lot of people hate the term people of color, and it's kind of obnoxious. What I try to do is half the time I say it, I very, very rarely now ever put black African American people in that category. I say black people, and it's really hard because you can't win. I mean, somebody's going to say that bothers them, but yeah, I'm going to kind of speak to that right now, and I'm not speaking for you, Vernon, but I've heard a lot of people say the problem with that is that obviously you're lumping it. It's ridiculous because not everyone's experience has been that. People whose ancestors have their human ancestors were forced into an enslaved status for generation after generation, in chattel slavery. There is no experience like theirs in America. None. I am not saying that people haven't had horrible experiences. Absolutely. But there is no experience that matches that. You cannot lump that in. And when Representative Cortez kind of blurted out, "Oh, let's give reparations for the," people were really taken back. They're like, "Are you kidding me?" I mean, as far as I know, people who have people who were descendants of people who were enslaved have as one of the only groups to never receive reparations, and so it's a huge thing, and it's absolutely on purpose. But I hope I'm representing what you're saying, right? Anthony, nice to see you. Thank you so much for being here, Anthony. And jump in and just say whatever you want to say if you have something. Neil, color definition, the quality of an object or substance with respect to you really they want the definition of color. Well, if Dr. Cindy were here, she speaks to that very, very well. Waiting for her to come here. She's a Dr. Cindy. She's a PhD. She knows stuff. So she will definitely. She's written a bunch of articles on that, I believe. But let me see. Kada. Hello. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. You can definitely write in if I'm not. I'm the worst. It's supposed to be what I do for a living. Oops. I am so bad. Wait, I'm gonna get this. Azavine. I wonder what makes you speak against white supremacy. Most whites don't do it. Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to get more people too, but I figure if I get one person to do it, it's But yeah, that's why I do all my stuff, is because we have to do this. I don't want to talk too much about it because God knows I blab, but I do it because I can't stand not doing it. The people who kind of the haters and stuff, they say I do it because I feel guilty. Well, they're completely wrong. But maybe that's their. Oh, you're from Canada. Oh my gosh. And there is racism in Canada. No, I know. Oh, that's so cool. I'm in upstate New York, so I don't know how close you are to there. But yeah, the reason I do it is because when I was really little, I noticed it, and I didn't know what it was, but I knew it was something, and nobody told me, and I thought I was seeing things, and I thought it was so. When I was little, okay, I'm just gonna make a confession. I would go up to I was pretty little. I would go up to people who were black and tell them I'd be their friend. Okay, this is like bizarre. I don't know why I did it, but I thought I wanted them to know that I will be their friend. Like, so I obviously noticed something. It was kind of a weird kid. I'm kind of a weird adult too, but so that I just noticed when I was little, and it hurts me to see that these humans are being treated. Anyway, I'll get into it later. Thank you for asking that. It's really sweet. I do not know. Anastasia, oh no, I scrolled. I'm not surprised about the shrine 45 was signing Bibles. I know. Hypocrite. Sorry. That's just like, oh my God. He's probably the first time he's ever held a Bible when he signed one. From Canada and racism. Yes. And I've heard about racism in Canada. Everyone tells me it's better than the US, but obviously it's everyone's, whatever their experience is. And definitely I have people who, from the UK who say, oh, there's racism here like you wouldn't believe. I don't know that we'll ever completely eliminate individuals who they're so insecure. They're so unable to, like what I say, the best thing you ever did was be born white. You seriously have some issues, but definitely the systemic part, there's absolutely no excuse for it. And the lack of education, you gotta be kidding me. I mean, that's just pathetic. Not educating your own nation about the truth, and they keep the lie going. Anastasia, absolutely. Germans are ashamed of what they did, and the U.S. isn't, and that's a huge difference. And I know people from Germany who are in America. They won't even talk to me about it. They're like, they're 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 ashamed, and I don't know if that's the general consensus, but that's kind of what I've gotten from the very few sampling of two. But yeah, great point. Um, we're not only not ashamed, we don't even admit it. I mean, it's weird. The thing is, a lot of people talk about reparations, and when they do, it's like I say that. Of course, there should be reparations. Of course, we should dismantle systemic racism. But most white people don't even know what racism is. They don't even think we have it. We're so not there. I guess they say we had a black president. I have a black friend. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I've heard it all. I'm sure you guys have too. Robert, reparations promise 40 acres and a mule would be at least 6.4 trillion today. That's what the U.S. really owes Black America. But they gave reparations to everyone else, not the black people. Why? Because we are racist as hell. It's something very strange in the collective mind of this country. We'll give, people reparations here or there, but black people, we want to blame the victim. We don't teach redlining in school. How are people supposed to accumulate wealth when they won't freaking let them have a loan or property? Or we don't teach about our little dirty secret, our system of taxes for schools. We created inner city poverty absolutely on purpose, and we don't teach it. So it's all on purpose, but we have a special hatred. It's kind of interesting. You'd think it'd be the opposite, like people would bend over backwards to make sure descendants of people who were enslaved had everything they needed to succeed. Everything. Equity, equality. But instead we go, it's like psychological or something. I don't know. I don't have answers. I wish I did. Kata or Kid, do you see any progress in changing white people from the racist to... Yes, I do. And that's what's so amazing. I have a 4-hour seminar. It's a crash course that I teach, and it puts you kind of like the blue eyes, brown eyes experiment that Jane Elliott did in her classroom, and she's kind of famous American person who did that. There's ways you can get people to, for just a minute, just a little teeny minute, get them to feel the pain of what it really would be like. And I do a basketball experiment where it's totally cruel and evil, but it is life changing, because a lot of white folks, they just don't relate. And so what I do is, let's tell you really fast, I take a class of people, and I'm really bad. I see certain people in certain places, and we have a contest, and whoever makes a basket gets a prize. And the basket's way up in front, and they have paper. And some people will get more paper because, their parents know me, and, I just want to give them more because I know them. Some people, maybe somebody who's really rich might get lessons first. I'll maybe give them a couple of free throws just to try, so they'll get to practice. And it pisses people off because the prizes aren't that good. It's just I take a moment to show them what true inequality is, where there's nothing you can do, and it's unfair, and you have to live it and deal with the pain. And it's not perfect, but it can really open up eyes. And that's all we can do is try to get people. But yeah, the people in my in the groups that I work with, oh my gosh, I had one lady who was basically said her dad's a KKK member, and she was, she's an elderly woman now, and she said she came into the group, and people watch at first. Most white folks watch and listen, and then they have like a little voice, and then they have a little more, and I've seen amazing transitions. I've seen miracles. It can happen. If you can teach it, you can unteach it. It can happen. It's just a really long process, and when you do bottom up, it's just really hard because we could get everyone in America to learn comprehensive programs in every public school in a generation. We don't want to. Okay? People are getting rich off of racism in America. So, oh my God, I've talked too much. Let me see. Fantastic questions, though. Neil says, Martin, you nailed it with the comment. Take away the fear of sickness. You guys, oh my gosh, I'm laughing. I'm so out of loop in this conversation. Okay. Let me see. Let me see. I'm going back. Sorry about that. Oh, Martin, Neil Douglas. I'm not sure why the capitalists want to keep people in fear and worry. You remove that with healthcare for all, and you get a much more productive person. Absolutely. I'm not sure. That's a good question. I don't know either. Mr. F.S. Black. I don't know if you read about this already, but there is a police officer in Virginia who was invited to a middle school where he told the black students, when you turn 18, you're mine. Oh my God. Wow. No, I did not read about that. If you have time, throw it on here. Would love to read about that. Michael, I don't let words have such power. Yeah, I think ideally, absolutely, you don't want it to, but unfortunately, sometimes they do. I don't know. That's a big. I took a bunch of linguistic courses in college a long time ago, and they were very eye-opening. I took three, high level or whatever, I guess upper class level courses in linguistics and racism, and linguistics in American culture, and it was very eye-opening. So it was a long time ago. Let me see here. Martin, we are all from Africa, all of us. You'll learn that if you take a anthropology class. How about the human genome study? Check it out. Yep. I always want the people who are like white supremacist members to like do one of those DNA tests so they can. Okay, I can't say that on here. Sorry. You know what I was gonna say. Yeah, I'm able. Yeah, great point, Martin. Sam, don't worry, Kim. We are all on the same side. We don't need labels. Yeah, and I totally and I get that. It's such a sensitive topic to me personally that I don't want to make people feel like I'm being a jerk. And the fact is, if you're white and you're talking about this stuff and you're learning, you're going to mess up. I messed up before a lot. Probably messed up today. I mean, you have to drop your ego at the door. It's not about us. And yeah, somebody's going to say you're racist. And you know what? Implicit bias, if you consider that racism, we all are. You know, all white folks are. Because implicit bias is a subconscious, but here's the thing. You have to drop your ego if you're white and you want to do this. And once you do that and you're not blaming yourself, it's just like learning anything else. And once in a while, there'll be people who don't like you because you're white. And you know what? The way it goes. And you can't blame them. How many years would it take you to stop trusting white people? I mean, it's like, I don't blame them. It makes me sad, but every time I meet a person who's not white, a lot of times I start all over from scratch. They don't know who I am. They're like, who are you? And I get it. That's where we're at in this country. But I hope I was kind of speaking to what you were talking about. But thanks, Sam. I think that's what you meant. I hope I was right. Anastasia. Facts. The U.S. Have even Holocaust survivors and family members who have been given reparations. Absolutely. I mean, think about the people in the Devil's Punch Bowl. 20,000 people in the actual first American, the second American Holocaust concentration camp. Their ancestors got nothing. We've had atrocity after atrocity. Black Wall Street, they got nothing. I mean, this is what we do. This is what we do. Vernon, exactly. ADOS, they have a unique social justice claim. It's not just slavery, but it's Jim Crow, redlining, etc. Right, sundown towns. Oh my God, the origins of the police. I know you get it because I've watched your videos. Thanks, but it's what America needs to grasp. That's why I keep making videos. Thank you, Vernon. That is the nicest compliment. Thank you. Because sometimes I'm not sure if like my videos are getting the message right. And anytime anybody has anything to say, comments to me, please personal message me because I want to know what you think. I might cry, but I still want to know. I want to know what you think. I want to know if you think I should do a video. Just teach me because I want to know. Let me see. Thank you, Vernon. Neil. Martin, you guys are having a great conversation. Martin, in my opinion, the capitalists want to keep people in fear and worry is all about the money. Yeah, and in general, fear is such a strong. I mean, look how Trump uses fear. He doesn't have to be factual. He just makes up shit, and people get scared, and they do. It's insane. Let me see here. Where am I? I feel like we treat the symptoms of racism and not the root of the problem. The root of the problem is pride. Yeah, okay, that's a really great point. Yeah, I've heard people say, well, I'm saying drop your ego. Like, it's not about you. It's stuff like, I think that's kind of what you're saying. Like, yeah, what do you guys think? Part of our problem in America, like my friend Dixon White, he has amazing videos, is we've never had racial healing in America. Hell, we've never even admitted that we did. We've never really admitted we did something wrong. You could say we did something wrong, yeah. I mean, we're still doing it. So it's kind of a tough thing to not admit. It's like everyone's at a different place, and most people won't even admit what we did. They don't know our real history. So it's purposeful. It's purposeful. So all the propaganda works, and the wealthiest white folks get richer, and the people who are struggling blame black people for all their problems when it could not be further from the truth. It's pathetic. We live a lie. Propaganda. Kim Jong-un doesn't have that. I mean, he's got something on us, but with that propaganda, but we're Russia. I've been reading about Russia and their propaganda. They're experts. Russia has meddled in 27 different countries' elections. This isn't news, but people don't read and they don't research and figure this stuff out. It's like people are acting all shocked, like, oh, there's no way that they meddled. Are you kidding me? They've done it 27 times, according to our own FBI. So, let me see here. So the pride thing. Yep. Great point. Thank you so much for saying that. And Martin, yes, pride, ego. Really good point. Plus, Anastasia, plus, if you do that Hitler crap, they'll get you arrested. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and, we're all about freedom and stuff. And you know what, Anastasia, that's one of the things that I've come to learn, which was hard for me personally, because I have this weird idea that I think, people just don't get it. When they get taught, I'm very naive, and it's ridiculous. But I know that some people are just mean. But part of the stuff, I just blanked on my stuff. I'm looking at everyone's. Let me see. You said plus. If you do that, you get. Yeah, this is what I say. Social media has been amazing to me in one strong way. Is just because something is legal does not mean you don't have social consequences. And I'll tell you, I used to think it was really mean when people would be outed for, and have social consequences. But if it's done in a reasonable way where the facts are known, not gossip, not jump on the far left bandwagon and act like you're, the coming back around. It's like a circular and acting like anyone white's guilty and anyone this, but social media, when done fairly, is it's something to be reckoned with. I like it because you do something racist, we're not going to change your heart and soul, what you think, but keep it private. Don't put it out in the public if you don't want people to see you. So I love that social media does that. Let me see. How did I even get on that point? Michael, Germany used to be ashamed. Things are changing now. Germany has reconquered Europe for a third time in less than 100 years, this time economically. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. And then with all the, great point, with all the, I've seen it kind of change with the people coming in from other countries and meeting some of the refugees and whatnot. I've kind of seen this big push over, and it's got to be really scary. But great point, Michael. Good. Thanks for saying. Michael, the root of racism is tribalism, and that's what Dr. Cindy says too. And maybe Michael needs to come on here and teach sometime. I would love it. Anton, you're laughing at somebody. Okay. Martin, you got in trouble. Something was held. Let me see if they'll let me put it up. They did. Viral video showing Virginia police telling a black student that when your asses turn 18, that's. I want to know what's going on with that and how that's being handled, because that's disgusting. That's a threat. That's what's wrong with people. Rhetorical question. We can't be here all night, right? But wow, just wow. Oh, another. You got nabbed by them. They're really, really being careful with people's comments now, for good or for bad. Martin. Okay. It's just the same thing. Mr. F.S. Black. I've read that the reparations that were supposed to go to freed slaves many times went to the slave owners. Yep, I've heard that as well. The bottom line is, when all this is going down, we had the 1870s. There's been so much going on, and when the military was pulled out of the South, was that 1877 compromise? I'm kind of blanking. 88 years more of absolute treachery, and I mean, there are so many things that, because they don't have internet, they don't have, that Devil's Punch Bowl. I mean, it's disgusting. They got away with murder. They got away with murder, and lo and behold, they still do. Yeah. I believe it. Sam, Russia is a kleptocracy. Putin will only step down when he knows he is protected. He is the richest man in Europe. More Sam. We all need a break from Trump. He is so toxic and only brings out the worst in people. We do need a break from him. Nathaniel, hello. Thank you for being here. I don't know about you guys, but I thought he'd be, I guess I was, once again, naive. I thought he'd be gone a long time ago. I really did. Thank you, Martin. Thank you so much for being here. I'm thrilled. And Martin, actually, I'm going to say something nice about Martin. He's an awesome writer, and he gets this stuff. I would love for you to come on sometime and be a guest host and talk. You'd be amazing. I am so lucky to have such great, great friends that I know. But thank you for being here, Martin. And it's kind of funny. It's getting late. I haven't gotten to one topic yet. So I'm just going over questions and blabbing, but it's totally fine. I think if people want to stay, if people are tired, obviously you can go to bed. But if you want to stay, I have lots to talk about still. So what I was going to talk about next was I would really love to see white folks in America get educated and our vote. We can't have this man in our life any longer. I don't even need to say, he's destroying our nation. And checks and balances, yeah, but wow. Really hurting. And it's terrifying. He needs to leave, and he needs to take his sick clan with him. And maybe someday the people who somehow educate themselves about how sick this is. I don't even get them, but anyway, I'm hoping that somebody can become the person to run against him on the Democratic side, who offers reparations, offers a program of how they're going to, a comprehensive program of how they're going to do reparations, dismantle systemic racism at the federal level, dismantle reform the criminal justice system, including law enforcement and police at the federal level. And this is just my personal ideas. Implement comprehensive universal health care for everybody. And they will not get my vote if they're not doing that. Now, when it comes to the actual election, are you kidding me? Anyone can Trump. But this nation, the people have to start caring. It's not enough for people to say, I'm nice to everybody. It's not enough. It's a lovely sentiment. It's really nice. But this is a system. We have to dismantle a system. Being nice to everybody, I hate to say it, is upholding the status quo. It's not about individuals. Martin, Neil, I don't want to sound negative, but white American elite will not give the black people any reparations except for hatred and a bad time. Yeah, I know. This is their thing. They don't want, just like Johnson. He got it. If someone wants to write the quote up, they can. I don't have it memorized, but give a white person someone to look down upon, and they'll basically do your work for you, do the dirty work for you. And white folks are doing the evil, cruel, dirty work of the white elites, and they're suckers. And they're hurting themselves too, and they don't even know it. I mean, there's some sick stuff going on. Absolutely. Sam, a candidate that knows where his father was born would be nice. You guys, the guy's nuts. Come on, he just lied. I don't know if he can help it. I really don't know if he can help not lying. I don't know, but as I said, I'm not a Democrat or Republican. I'm a humanist, and Trump is a culmination of I don't know if that's a word, of all the most horrible traits in humans. He's a very cruel person. I think I've diagnosed him, of course, I think he has, a personality disorder, and people, because he is so wealthy, he's gotten away with what he does. It's really scary. But I wanted to talk for a second. If we still have people around, I could talk all night. Sam, it's pathological. The guy's clearly a nut job. Yeah, right. For lack of a better, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm not obviously a professional. I've never examined him, but for the love of God, come on. He can't stop lying. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's pretty common sense. But I actually saw a psychiatrist go on there and just say, I'm not supposed to do this, but the guys, and she diagnosed him. It was pretty cool. But he needs to leave. He's hurting people. He needs to leave. I'm not a revenge person. I don't care what happens to him. I just want him out of our lives. But, excuse me, one thing that I wanted to talk about tonight that really broke my heart, and it made me, I don't know, it made me really think, is when I compared how New Zealand handled their horrific atrocity compared to us. And again, this is the news I'm getting from New Zealand, and obviously, if I'm not living there, I don't know, but I saw something that was beautiful, and I think it was real. Last month, when the white supremacist terrorist murdered 50 people in the 2 mosques in New Zealand, guess how they handled the aftermath of these terrorist acts in New Zealand? Dun, 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 dun. They came together like humans. There was a nationwide call to prayer, and it was broadcasted all over New Zealand. There was a 2-minute silence. It's called leadership. It's called acting like a human. I'm not going to get into it, but let's be real. America collectively, white America needs to start learning how to act humane. This is not how you treat your fellow humans. It's disgusting. This message was held. Let me see if maybe they'll show it. Trump is the greatest con man in history. You know what? He definitely studied some of the most pathological figures of. I saw an interview with one of his ex-wives, who's now obviously been quieted, like some sort of, obviously they don't say one word, talking about his love for Hitler and how his nightstand book is not Mein Kampf, not the most popular one, I guess, but that's his nightstand book, and it was from a literal interview, like a legit interview. I saw it. I was like, wow. I mean, it's bad. Great points, Sam. Let me just see right here. Michael, I'm just here for the. Thank you, Michael. You are very sweet. You are very sweet. Oh my gosh. And I'm going to get you on here too. I'm like a threat. I'm going to get you on here. Sam, let me just see. That's really sweet. Thank you. The terrorists, that terrorist said, as a leader, God, no, even a deranged murderer thinks Trump is a totally. it's like the worst insult. Even like the bad guys think he's bad. Is that kind of? I can't believe it's gone this far. What do you guys think? Do any of you think he'd still be here? I'm very naive. I am the naive, oh, okay, sure, well, I believe in the system. Well, yeah, really scary. So what they did was, it's kind of emotional for me, actually. I watched as people from every single group in New Zealand got together and offered their fellow Muslims, their fellow New Zealanders, sincere sadness and hope and sorrow. I saw a large sign on the fence that read, "Rest in peace, my brothers and sisters. We are all one people, one country." And 6 days after the Christchurch Mosque was attacked, New Zealand's Prime Minister announced a ban on military-style and semi-automatic weapons. And granted, our government is different than theirs. They have one party. It's probably a lot easier to get things done. But see, most people in America want common sense gun laws, and we don't have them. And this poll's been pretty steady. The New Zealand prayer is a lesson that America could learn from. That's kind of what I thought. And for those who don't pray or have any religious connection or belief, would benefit because it would bring us closer. I'm not Muslim, but guess what? And I'm not anyone special either. But when a long time ago, many years ago, when the stuff about Muslim terrorists and whether that is the religion, when all that was going on, this was years ago, guess what I did? I wanted to know. I wanted to know the truth, not from the media. So guess what I did? I went to a mosque and I spent 5 hours there. I had this thing like, go visit a mosque. I'm like, I'm in. I brought my son. He was pretty young. He said it was the best experience of his life. We talked to the man, and okay, I have to admit, I did try to shake his hand. And I broke every rule, but they were sweet. They were nice. They talked to us for 5 hours. 5 hours straight. It was amazing. We asked them the hard questions. They were amazing. And that's what we need to do. Go to the source. That's not what people are doing. But okay, I'll keep going. Sorry, you got me on a little rampage there. Let me see. But Neil, thank you. I was blown away. Thank you, Michael. Oh my God, you are so sweet. Thank you. Sam, you should leave America and come to Scandinavia and marry me. Oh, it's embarrassing. Wait, are you living in Scandinavia? Oh my gosh, I don't think I knew that. This is a Trump-free zone. Take me to. Oh my God. Oh my gosh, you are so sweet. You guys are too good to me. Thank you. That's really sweet. It's very funny. You always embarrass me. Oh my God. Anton, 45 ain't gonna know where the racist, bigoted elite love him too much. I know, I know. It's disgusting. I, I think they need name tags. I think I would rather, I mean, I want to know who these people are. I want them to all be labeled so I can, know who's who. It's really scary. It's really scary. Um, but I'm not reading that, Sam. I'm not reading that. Oh my God, I'm mortified. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You guys are really funny. Very sweet. Very. Okay. All right. Let me see. Let me see. Okay, where was I? Focus. Focus. Okay, I'm gonna get really serious. You are cracking me up. You and Michael are cracking me up. Okay. Part of the thing is the aftermath of all these, and I guess the aftermath, I guess you could call it that, of all these, gun slaying. One toddler a week kills someone with a gun. Lo and behold, I think one did that. It's okay. So it's funny. What you take it to? Oh, you're not reading that. Not reading that. Not reading, okay. Thank you. No, I think you're funny. But yeah, I mean, we don't hold parents who don't lock their guns away. I mean, I'm not anti-gun. I'm anti, insanity. I'm anti leaving a gun out so your kid can get it. Give me a break. That's abuse. I'm anti giving someone who is on the no-fly list because they're a terrorist, basically, or being watched, a weapon. It's like they're on. I mean, things just have to make sense. And sadly, the our culture is greed over humanity, and it's pathetic. Greed over humanity, and all the polls indicate that widespread America wants common sense. We take companies and they give us money, and our politicians are bought off. So we're not in charge, and our culture is greed over humans. I was really sad to hear this week, really, really sad, that the Sandy Hook parents, there's been two people, let me see, since Sandy Hook, there's been 1,992 mass shootings. I mean, we're off the charts. It's not even funny. According to the New York Times, two survivors of last year's massacre committed suicide, took their own lives, and so did the father of a and that was from Parkland, and so did the father of a Sandy Hook kid. There's This is like life changing. This is crazy stuff. So I just, it's surreal. I don't know how people live with it, and you know what they think? It didn't happen to me. It'll never happen to me. And then all of a sudden, guess what? It happens to you or someone you know, and then you care. It's too late. I just don't get it. But anyway, I'm being a little preachy here. If you were right there, you could slap me out of it. I wanted to talk really quickly about AOC. No one can stop talking about her on the Republican side. She's charming. She's persuasive. She's awesome. She's not perfect, but for God's sakes, we need leadership from somebody. And she does get the issues. And she seems pretty sensible on social issues. I think she's a breath of fresh air. And the GOP is terrified of her. And I know why they're terrified of her. Because she can't be bought. She's not there to keep her job. Make sure, like, I got to keep my job. I got to keep my job here. So I got to do what, if racist people tell me to do something. No, she's there to do her job. And I know people have criticized her and this and that, but they are after her. It's their worst nightmare. She's not afraid of them. And for good or for bad, I think we need people like her. We need people like her who are going to rock the boat and speak the truth. And again, she's a really good speaker, and I'm jealous, but I'm just saying. Neil, I blame the NRA because of their lobbyists that are paid to keep the common sense background checks for people who are on mind-altering medications. Right, absolutely. I mean, they do incredibly sick things. They allow, didn't they make it for a while so doctors were not allowed to teach gun safety as a pediatrician. They were not allowed to bring up the topic at a well baby, a check, a yearly. I mean, are you kidding me? It's, they've managed to get away with some horrific things, and like I need to tell you. So anyway, this woman who has come around, she's competent, she's common sense, and they're terrified of her. They tried to get her to, they were like appalled at her dancing. Oh my God, she danced in her video. They tried that. It was like hilarious. It's like a class assignment or something. And they were trying to slut shame her. I'm like, seriously? You got to be kidding me. It's embarrassing. And they're trying to say she's a wealthy woman and an elitist. It's like, get over yourself. You don't have to be poor. You don't have to be rich. You don't have to be anything but a knowledgeable person to give a shit about your fellow human. I mean, I get this a lot when I sit and do my car stuff. People say, well, you have a car, you're rich. So what are you talking about? I'm like, talking about the same thing all white people should be talking about. Equality, fairness, power to the people, all that. I mean, like, but because I have a car, I'm like, okay. I mean, anything to just not, but anyway, they tried to do that to her. And I really, truly believe that the Republicans need a scapegoat. They realize that no Trump supporter will ever actually look up, the facts. So they basically can say anything they want and make her look, paint her with devil's horns and call her socialist. And which, since they probably don't even know what socialism is morphed quickly into she's a communist. I mean, it's all about education. And then they call her comrade to try to, it's like this big con. White folks who are Trump supporters, they like socialist issues. They just don't know it. Do they like their roads and hospitals? How about, don't even get me started, but they don't get it. So I think it's disgusting. She's the youngest member of the House, and they're pathetic, and they're scared of her. And you know what? I might not agree with everything she says, but totally support her, at least this far, because God knows we need leadership, and people aren't stepping up to the plate. AOC, as you probably know, is under investigation by the FEC along with one of her staff for funneling PAC money. So they're trying their best to get her out of Congress. Wow. Like you, they fear her. Wow, I did not know that, because I have been out of the loop. I don't know when that came out, but I did not know that. Interesting. I think, big money is incredibly corrupting, just incredibly corrupting. It's amazing, but I don't know much about it. Yeah, I know what you meant. I meant to say, like you said, they fear. Yeah, it's okay, Neil. I knew. I thought that's what you meant, but no, it's totally fine. Something I really, I just don't. The lies and seeing these people who sit there and do nothing, listening to these lies in Congress. These aren't just anybody. These are people who are elected officials. I got to get that out of my head, that just because they're elected means that they actually have some grain of personal integrity. It's just not true. So the next thing I wanted to go into is the Biden media coverage. I don't know what you guys think of that, but last week, Lucy Flores, a Democratic lawmaker from Nevada, claimed that that Joe Biden had touched her inappropriately during a campaign. Now, Flores wrote that Biden approached her from behind and smelled her hair and kissed her on the back of the head. And shortly after that, like another lady came out and said they rubbed noses. I'm just reading what and has he's like a touchy feely guy, and I think he's kind of known for that. And two more women have come forward. To be crystal clear, the woman's allegations against Biden, um, I want to make it kind of clear because I don't think the media is really doing a great job with it. These women are not accusing him of something illegal or even like borderline abuse or anything like that. According to Rolling Stone, the Rolling Stone article, neither woman is like accusing him of a crime. However, they are what they're describing would definitely qualify as sexual harassment in the workplace. So there is a big difference. I'm not pro sexual harassment in the workplace, obviously, but thinking like when you're in a power position in the Me Too movement, you really should be careful. I hate that we have to be careful. It's pathetic. When I was a school teacher, there was a little boy who didn't have a mom. And I was very young in the old days, and they told us never ever touch the children. And guess what I did? I touched the children. He sat on my lap and cried like a baby because he was 8 years old and he had never had that. And I thought, you know what? Send me to jail. And I held him. He was a little boy, and I cuddled him, and I said, it's going to be okay. And I find it pathetic that we are in a place where we are told you literally can't touch someone. You can't. But I get it in the workplace. So, I mean, there's a lot of give and take. I mean, we're only in this situation because we allowed rape culture to continue. So, I mean, it's definitely, I'm not one way or the other here. I get the whole thing. I think when you're in a position of power, you got to follow the rules. And yeah, they're disgusting. It stops people who are friendly from being friendly. But that's where we're at. And I mean, I'm like, didn't you get sexual harassment training or something? Or, and I don't like that people have to have that, but that is where we're at. And if we hadn't allowed Michael, it stops me from being friendly. I quit. Yeah, I mean, it's not fair. And I will definitely get into that. It isn't fair. And again, it's not fair that women, it was a free for all for so long in our country. Of course not. But well, I'll just keep telling you, I'll get there. I get it. Here's the thing. Let me see here. He really needs to have had some sexual, harassment training or something, because it's fine on his own. Michael, it's also stopped me from voting for Democrats, but I know that no one here wants to hear that. I quit. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I have kind of a rant to say about this Biden touchy-feely thing, and I hope everybody understands. Men are becoming afraid to talk to women or to hug them or say hello or even kiss them on the cheek. 100%. Mm-hmm. And it kills me how men are put into this one boat. It's an insult to every man I know who is a totally upstanding person and would die before they'd hurt a woman. So it's disgusting. Men have become afraid to vote for Democrat. Yeah, I mean, Michael, I get it. And I have a lot to say about this, and people might not agree. I'm in no way downplaying believing these women or anything like that. But there are some concerns that need to be addressed. And whereas it's reasonable, in my mind, that we understand the dangers of condoning or ignoring rape culture in America. The statistics speak for themselves. It's 1 out of every 4 college young women today will be raped. Okay? I've seen 1 out of 4, 1 out of 5. I'm talking like Rikers. I'm talking good statistics, not, going on to Fox News. I'm talking, that's obnoxious. But here's the thing. Yep, that's not what this is any longer. Right. This is gone. And I'm going to try to explain that. Absolutely. It's, oh, stay. I want you to hear my rant. I want you to hear my rant. If you have to, I know you have to go to work, but Michael, if you have to go to bed, I cannot thank you enough for being here. No, don't be insane over this. You're gonna love what I say. Okay, I'm just kidding. I get it. I get it. It's not fair and it's not right. But yeah. I mean, this is hurting people. This is this is harming people. Let me just try to. Oh, thank you. Okay, I hope you like. I made this rant just for you because we had talked about it. Whereas it's reasonable to understand. Here's something that most people do not understand. Overzealously condemning and placing personal encounters that make us uncomfortable, pretending these are tantamount to molestation and rape and assault, is a very dangerous mistake for both the accuser and the accused. I'll tell you, and people need to stop this. When a thoughtful discussion on this very important topic ends up taking place, blind extremism harms all parties. It harms women, it harms men, it harms everybody. The continuum from off the charts liberalism to lunatic conservatism is not a straight line. It's a circle. And I'll tell you, it is such, I've living proof, and I won't go into my stuff. It is a disservice for, and Michael, Neil, I hardly said a thing because I'm trying really hard not to stir the pot. It's not my, Michael feels very strongly about this. We've discussed this, and I do too. Neil, you have made some good points. Yeah, jump in there. Lars, don't split the vote. 4 more years of Trump is hardly progressive. Joining the party is the best way to make a, and I think this issue is just so hurtful to people. But yeah, Sam, you're absolutely right. Yeah, I mean, I've talked to more men. It's an insult. It's a. Okay, I'll just keep saying. I want to make this crystal clear. I'm not saying women who come forward are lying. In fact, I'm not saying they shouldn't come forward. I'm questioning the public's being judge, jury, and executioner. Okay? I believe the statistics across history are pretty clear. People lie around 3% of the time. It's a very small amount, but not for the people whose lives it destroys. Not for those 3 people out of 100 who's got their lives ruined by false accusations. And their lives are ruined. Michael, if Democrats now hate men and any man can be destroyed by any accusation, no due process, no truth required, I'm out of the party, and that's where we are. And I absolutely 100% agree. Because when it comes full circle and you're not thinking and you're not using common sense, I mean, lives are destroyed when people are accused. They don't have to have done it or not. It's over. Except for Trump. I'm not sure exactly how he got out of that. And then Kavanaugh seemed to get away with that too. But okay, I'm just saying. Public being judge, jury, and executioner is mob rule, and that's where we are now. And Michael, that is why this is unbelievably important to me as a woman, as a human. I don't want people talking about the men I love in that way when it's not true. It's just not true. All men don't do this kind of thing. So when you equate, you can't equate the two, and it's not right. And the fact is, most men would never dream of sexually assaulting or hurting a woman. I mean, in their wildest, and to have all men be looked at as belonging to this group is a sad state of affairs. Really, really sad. And Jefferson said that 99 guilty men should be free rather than, yeah, absolutely. Exactly. I'm sorry, I'd rather see exactly 99 guilty men be free than one innocent person charged. 100% agree. And I feel like that on all subjects. And Neil, do you think the rape situation is a situation just younger men or men of all ages? And are you asking me, Neil? Or I do know, I mean, from hanging out at the high school, because I have high school kids or whatever, I do know, at least in our area, it's a whole nother world. Everybody knows everybody knows what you do, what you don't, and you're not getting away with it. And it's like a whole nother culture, really. They're like, that's laughable to them. I paraphrased Jefferson awkwardly. No, I knew exactly what you meant, Michael. 100%. problem is this: all men being looked at as one is pathetic. And that being said, our societal tolerance for rape culture it's just kind of a backlash, and people just don't get it. Neil, I'm wondering if this is an epidemic of men of all ages. I don't know, but I do know that the boys will be boys thing is ridiculous. It's like when I was a teacher, there was the McMartin trial going on, and every teacher was vilified. It was a preschool, and they did horrible things to kids. It's a long time ago, and it was awful because every teacher who would die before they'd hurt a kid was vilified. And this is how we run now. People don't understand. It's a circle. I've had my stuff attacked by, I don't even get into it, by fake liberals who think they speak for Black people, and they think they speak for people of color. And they didn't check out anything. They didn't find information. They didn't care. I was white, so I was a racist. That's crazy. That's not thinking. That's full circle. And it's not a, oh boy. And Michael, it was Franklin. Benjamin Franklin went further. Hey, it is better 100 guilty. That's what it is. Yes. That's right. Better the 100 guilty persons go free and escape than one innocent person should suffer. And that is why I am absolutely 100% one of 20 reasons I oppose the death penalty with all my heart and soul. 4% are found innocent post-mortem. Done deal. 4% post-mortem are found innocent. And yes, a larger percentage of them are people of color and Black people. I'm out. If we can't afford it, sorry, getting me into the rant. Michael, you and I could really spar. I get it. It's disgusting. No, this is new. We have never had anything like this in our country, and it's from the left. Yeah. No, you can't go so far as to turn into a vigilante. It's when everyone's grouped as one, you're just as bad as the racists and the bigots and the haters that you think you're against. It's come full circle, and it's not good. Yes, we have rape culture in America, but no, most men would never, ever. And people are learning, and it's just wrong. You're doing pretty well, Michael, for I'm happy you watched. I'm really happy you watched. Oh, from the doctor. Right. I'm like, nice. No, Michael's really sick tonight, and so he's on medicine. I didn't know if he got medicine or not. So he is very, very knowledgeable. So thank you so much, Michael. You should go to. That was my speech. Wait, is that my speech? Oh, my speech is almost over. I cured him. Amazing. Okay, actually, my speech is almost over. My rant, but I didn't want you to go before you heard the rant because I really feel you on this. I'm a witch doctor. I cured you. Here's the thing. Being uncomfortable is not nice for people, but it's not a crime. Okay. You can sue for it and be dismissed from your job, but you aren't going to go to prison because you made someone uncomfortable if it's not a crime. Being creepy is not a crime. Being tactile is not a crime. But yes, if you're in a powerful position and you really got to be cognizant of this kind of thing. So it's to compare someone who is uncomfortable to someone who's been raped or molested or assaulted is really kind of a sick disservice. It's a sick disservice. I'm not saying being tactile and kind of like, loving everybody is the most wonderful thing in the world or the worst thing in the world. But you cannot compare that to rape, molestation, and assault. That cheapens true rape, molestation and assault. They are different things. So um, it's a disservice to innocent men today who are guilty upon one person saying something at the mere mention, no matter what, except for Kavanaugh. He seemed to get away with that. Michael, I want but you want him to kiss your head and you want him to smell your hair. Okay, we can. And if we have anybody with a connection to him, maybe we can work that out for you. Very cute. And you know what? And I'm in no way. You do. And I'm in no way cheapening the idea that women in America, we live in a rape culture. But you can't be naive and ignorant about this whole thing. Not everything is an equivalent. It goes anyway. I could blab and go go on and on. I am 100% back women when they say what happened. The people who don't want to think need to not be involved in this conversation because they are destroying everybody. Okay, and they're really making it just a joke. Come on, people, now smile on your brother. Everybody go. I'm not going to sing that. I think I've triggered Michael. Raise your hand if I've triggered Michael. Sam, we don't have the jury system because it sucks. Sam, we have to talk. I want to talk. I want to hear all about you. We've triggered Michael. I'm so sorry. You're raising your hand. Thank you. Oh my gosh. You guys are absolutely wonderful. Anyone who's still listening to me and talking, I will keep going for a little bit longer because I love to blab. You guys are hilarious. Seriously. I know. I know, Michael. You're funny. Oh my God. You guys are so funny. The House Democrats authorized a subpoena for the Mueller report. They did it because, now we're getting into boring stuff, but boy, oh boy, we can't trust our government. They did it because the Trump administration refused to allow Congress to see the actual report. Barr was working with Mueller to release a redacted version of the report. Gee, why do we think maybe he'll do whatever he wants? Or, we don't, this is because we can't trust our own government. And clearly, we probably shouldn't have ever been able to trust our government. This is ridiculous. I've been a sucker. I've trusted our government. But I mean, seriously, the bottom line is we can't trust them. It's not even a close call. And I'm thrilled that the House is doing stuff. I am thrilled. Neil, if there's 1 out of 4 women, if 1 out of 4 women are raped, how many men are part of that number? 1 out of 4, more when it comes to raping women because of gang rape. Yeah, it's the statistics are very, very shocking. And remember, I did a special on all the rape kits that are thrown away, that are never tested. So the rapists, it's a free-for-all. They get to keep, they're never tested, they can never connect it. I'm sorry, we don't value our women in America. Individual men totally value their women. Oh my God, I know some of the nicest men on the planet. But as a whole, government-wise, we throw away rape kits. We tell the woman that, they shouldn't have been doing this. They asked for it. It's it's disgusting. We allow a culture of rape. And the backlash is screwing over men, innocent men. People are taking it to an extreme because of people just, it's, yeah, so I don't know, Neil, but it's not good. But yeah. Michael, take more of your medicine. We're going to get you knocked out. It's a very upsetting subject. And I hope that I presented it in a fairly understandable way that's not too, I'm biased. I am. But I do get both sides. Unfortunately, I've had experience with both sides. This nation needs to get their act together. But, so let me see. I think I am going to look for more things to talk about. And I will say to everybody, I just can't thank you enough for being here. If you believe like I do that it's way past time for white America to take some racial responsibility, um, please spread the word about this show and my site. Give me ideas. Subscribe, ring the bell. I think it gives you notifications if you ring the bell. I really don't know much about it, but that's what they say. And this means the world. Michael, I have a Valium for you if you like. Oh my God. Neil, you're sick too tonight, huh? Oh my gosh. My sweet friends are sick. But oh my God. I'm introducing you to I am. You guys will love each other. We can have a group. Yeah, Neil, you will love him. He's awesome. And Neil, okay, sorry, I have to say this every time. Neil ran a syndicated talk radio show for years and years. And Neil knows stuff. So I want you guys to definitely meet up. And Vernon, thank you so much for being here. I can't believe you got to stay too. That is awesome. You're such a sweetheart. It is the least I can do. To, I wish I could do more. I wish people would listen. But you guys are wonderful. So if you believe in what I do, help me get people to get into this, because it's going to spread out. It's got to get to the white folks. And I don't have any white people. Neil and let me see, Neil, Michael, you're the only white people in my. I don't have many white friends left, and I didn't tell them to leave, but I guess they didn't like me talking about racism. So I need help to get people to care and to talk about it. And so write me, message me. I'm so thankful to have people here. Thank you so much for watching. Don't be shy to write me. I am slow, but I will get back to you. I promise. Okay. So I will see you next week, and invite your friends. And thank you so much. This means the world to me. Good night, everybody.